I've taken a £500,000 building and made it worth the best part of £1 million. So
Wow, so
his
you've
money's
doubled the
secure.
value almost.
Yeah,
So his
so
money's definitely secure.
His money's secure. Vendor finance, it's a crazy concept that the person selling your house could actually lend you some of the money to buy the house.
I love vendor finance.
All of the money.
All of the money, yeah.
It's crazy.
So you're looking for the right project at the moment.
Yeah.
And that one investor who you always had on your list that you didn't realise might lend you finance because you didn't have the training to know to ask that person is actually going to lend you even more money.
Yes.
Amazing. Hello there and welcome to the Progressive Studio, where I am here with a very special guest. As the face of Progressive, I am interested in your successes from the progressive property community. And our lovely guest today, Matt Hawes, has been absolutely ploughing forward in the world of property, and he's here to tell his story. So we're very lucky you want to stick around for this. Hi, Matt.
How you doing?
Great to have you in the studio. Thanks for coming in. So, Matt, you weren't always in property. I want to take you back before Progressive, before what you were doing before Progressive, and find out, what did you begin with? School, university? How did it all happen for you?
Right, I started with school, as most people.
Yeah, good.
And then I became a carpenter at 16 and done that for 3 years. And then that was the end of the 80s and early 90s, bit of a recession then. So I went back to university and got a degree in construction project management. And then I managed massive projects up in London for 5 years. And then it was getting a bit too much travelling and stuff like that. So someone offered me a job locally as a carpenter. I was missing the hands-on side of it, really. So someone offered me a job locally as a carpenter on a barn conversion. So I left my corporate job and done that for about 2 or 3 years, and then set up Hawes Construction. That's what I've been doing ever since.
Wow, that was quite a journey, a lot packed in there. So let's rewind a little bit. So you started as a carpenter.
Yeah.
Because you liked using your hands.
Carpenter by trade, yeah.
So what made you go from the carpentry side to studying a degree?
So there wasn't much work around in the late 80s and early 90s. And my girlfriend at the time said, "You're sort of wasting yourself just jobbing around doing little jobs. Why don't you take this time to go back to..." Initially it was college. I went back and done a HNC, but that was part-time. But
Yes.
I absolutely loved it because, unlike school, HNC was something that I chose, I wanted to do.
So you had control.
Yeah, so I put my all into it. I really, really enjoy this, and I'd like to carry on and do a degree. But doing a degree part-time was going to take 4 or 5 years or whatever. So I was living at home with my mum at the time. She said she would support me. So I gave up work and went back full time and done my degree. So absolutely loved it. I would have stayed and done my master's. I absolutely loved it, but couldn't get funding for my master's. So I thought I'd better get a job.
So you do your degree and, obviously a degree in construction engineering?
Project management.
Project management, gosh. So you must have learned a lot about property in that degree.
Yeah. I mean, I bought my first... buy-to-lets just after that, probably about 25, something like that.
So when you were 25, that's when you started buying buy-to-lets?
Yeah. So I got a reasonable job by then, and got involved with a company called Inside Track and bought 3 properties, which I still own.
Why did you buy those buy-to-lets? What was the plan?
I wanted to get into property. I knew that property is the way forward to sort of real wealth.
So you had this feeling that property was the way to wealth.
Yeah.
But then you went and did it. And it would be fair to say, because you didn't really know what you were doing in terms of, because you hadn't maybe had training at that point, you kind of made a pig's ear of it.
Yes. Yeah. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. Yeah.
It's one of the things that we teach at Progressive is off-plan is probably not the greatest idea. It's very high risk. And there are occasions where people have come to Progressive. In fact, Kevin McDonnell is a case in point where he bought a property off-plan very early in his journey before he had training in property, and of course it was never built. And he still owns the plot of land with his property off plan that he bought. So yeah, it's a very high risk strategy buying off plan. But you still have the properties.
I still got them now, yeah, and there's a bit of equity in 2 of them. One of them sort of got a bit of catching up to do, but
and would you, now knowing what you know, would you go and buy those 3 properties again, or would you do something very different?
No. I wish I'd have bought 1 property near to where I live, because being a builder as well, it's very frustrating when a ball valve goes in the toilet or something and I've got to pay some £150 to go and fix it when I could go around there and do it myself or send my plumber around to do it. So knowing what I know now, I would have just bought 1 and would have got better capital growth on it as well around my area. I live in Oxford, so would have got better capital growth anyway. So you don't know what you don't know at the time.
You don't know what you don't know.
I took the advice of these people at the time, and that was their, why buy 1 locally when you could buy 3?
And the people who were telling you to do this were a company that were basically just trying to sell
They
unsuspecting
were given
people.
a bit of information and stuff, a bit of training and stuff, but it was mainly because they were selling the properties at the back of the room. You know, and you want to prove you're a property investor. And I think it was 50 grand at the time, kicking about. So I bought 3.
You bought 3. Well, and you still own them, which is
Yeah,
great.
we still own it. So a lot of people, you know, they didn't get built. There was ones in America for sale and ones in Spain and stuff that didn't. People put loads of money and didn't even get built. So
Yes.
we still got ours and we own them, and it's not too bad.
Good. Okay, so we're a carpenter. You've now got your degree.
Still am a carpenter.
Yeah, oh, you still are a carpenter. My apologies. So you were a carpenter. You still are a carpenter, and you got your degree. At some point, you did a bit of dabbling in property with not very much training or experience, and have learned from those mistakes. Where does your company, Hawes Construction, then come into this?
You've worked hard your whole life, built savings, maybe even bought property. But when it comes to stocks, you hold back. Because deep down, there's that fear. What if I lose it all? What if it's just another scam? Honestly, day trading probably isn't going to work for you. But investing is different. You're smart enough to know saving alone isn't enough to build the best future for your family. But investing in stocks can feel overwhelming. That's not your fault. School never taught us how to do this. I'm Ben Knight, and over the last decade, I've been investing successfully and consistently in the stock market, and I've taught hundreds of people my step-by-step strategy that takes less than 5 minutes a day. Now, I want to show you how to do this too. That's why I created my free online masterclass. And if you're serious about building wealth for you and your family, you need to be there. Seats fill up fast, so don't miss this. To secure your free space, go right now to www.thetradetribe.com and I'll see you there live.
I set up Hawes Construction about 20 years ago. I got bored of doing, like, driving all the way out to London and stuff, doing my management thing. And so then I'd done this barn conversion with somebody. And, and after a few years, ended up just setting up Hawes Construction. Didn't ever think it was only me and I allowed it first. And then it just sort of grew and grew as I did. And at the time, I think I had about 15 direct employees and probably 15 or 20 subbies every day.
Wow, so you were managing 30, 35 people on a daily basis.
It was, but I just found I wasn't really going out on site because I was just in the office pricing work, and go out now and again, which is not what I want to do. I want to be hands-on.
You are a carpenter.
I'm a carpenter.
Yeah, you want to
it's good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for me. So I enjoy the hands-on side. So now we're a lot smaller company, and I can be out on site. I still have to do the office stuff as well. But
so you were, of course, building, Ben, properties for other people.
Yeah.
And did you ever get that feeling that perhaps you might want to build some for yourself?
Always wanted to be, do some developing and stuff, but it was always, I felt the finance that was holding me back because I didn't really have the finance. So, but after coming to Progressive and learning a bit about raising finance, I just made a list of all the people I knew that had money and I rang them.
Amazing. And that bore fruit?
I managed to raise £500,000 on one of the first phone calls I made.
Whoa. Sorry, let me just backtrack there for a second. So you called someone who you already knew.
Yes.
Who was already in your network.
Yeah.
And in one phone call, you raised £500,000.
Yeah.
Wow. And is that something that you ever thought would be possible before you came to Progressive?
No, not at all.
And it was right in front of you the whole time?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's so fascinating, isn't it? Opportunity is everywhere. Yeah. And sometimes it's right in front of our faces, and we just need a little nudge in the right direction to see what's right in front of us. And it could be life-changing. That's so cool. We're now in Hawes Construction. You want to get back out working with your hands again. You already are feeling years ago that maybe property is the way forward. You've had not such a great experience with the properties that you've bought in the past. So what made you then launch towards Progressive and then launch your property journey again?
To be honest, it's trying to get away from clients.
Oh, right.
Trying to do my own stuff, so I'm my own client. And like I say, I just thought that I couldn't do it because I didn't have the finance. But once I'd found out I could get the finance, then now I can go off and do my own projects. I don't have any guy, I am the client, so the decisions are a lot easier to be made and the jobs go a lot quicker and stuff. So I've got a project that we've just finished is up for sale at the moment. We're sort of looking for the next one.
Amazing. And how did you find out about Progressive?
Well, your phone's always listening to you, isn't it? And I said to my wife 2 years ago now.
So what, this is Christmas 2022?
Yeah, it must have been something like that, yeah. And I said, I really would like to start getting back into doing our own thing, And then all of a sudden on Facebook and WhatsApp and whatever, you start getting little messages coming up with different training people.
Right, okay.
I went with somebody else first. I won't mention any names, but I didn't gel so much of them. But I really liked it when I came to Progressive just felt a lot more like a family, and
And felt more like a cohesive network.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's really good. And so you tried some other training first. It wasn't for you. You came to Progressive and you discovered something different in Progressive.
Yeah.
And what was it in Progressive? What was the first event that you attended?
It was a BRR thing with Tony Gargan.
A BR Discovery Day?
Yeah.
Oh, Tony's amazing, isn't she?
Very good, yeah.
And what did you learn that day?
The refinancing at the end, potentially. It's hard to make that work in my area because it's quite the houses are quite expensive around Oxford and Buckinghamshire. So trying to make the flip model and pulling all your money out is quite difficult.
So the flip and pulling all your money out. So it sounds to me like you're talking about the buy, refurbish, rent, refinance model.
Yeah.
Which of course Tony is like a master at, and she's just so wonderful.
Yeah.
And so you learned about buying a property, refurbishing it, and then trying to pull all or most of your money back out.
Most of it out. Yeah.
And then what with the view of recycling that money and
yeah.
Oh, fantastic! And was this like brand new information to you?
It's probably always up there, but it's just nice to get it from somebody else. And
you had been in construction for 20 years at this point.
Yeah.
And then you came to the course and you realised, this is one way of doing this. So then where did it go from there?
And then I came to Kevin's No Money Down.
Kevin McDonald's
No Money Down. That was 3 days. And that was brilliant. My wife came to that as well.
So you came with your wife?
Yeah.
And what did you learn at Kevin's 3-day course?
Everything.
I
think that's the key to all of it, isn't it? The No Money Down techniques.
And so what sort of techniques are you talking about?
Well, it's EDCs, exchange, delayed completion, vendor finance. It's a crazy concept that the person selling you the house could actually lend you some of the money to buy the house.
I love vendor finance.
All of the money. It's crazy. So the thing about me being a builder, obviously the assisted sales could work quite well for me. So you don't actually lose any money on your stamp duty and stuff like that, and you don't have to borrow so much money.
So let's just rewind a little bit. So an assisted sale, can you tell us a little bit, just a very brief overview of how an assisted sale
somebody's
works?
got a property that you can flip, instead of buying it and obviously getting stamp duty and then you need to find the money to buy it, you can do the deal and then you can just go and use my building company to add the value and then sell it. So then you don't have any stamp duty, you don't have so much finance costs for buying it, and then you can just agree a deal. Obviously every deal is slightly different, but you can agree a deal with them and then split the profit at the end or something.
Wow, so you can take a property on and refurbish it and then sell it for a profit without ever owning it?
Yes.
Well, I can see as a builder how that could be
it could
a
be
really
good one,
useful strategy.
Absolutely, yeah.
And this is not something you'd ever come across before.
Never really thought about that, no.
Wow. I find that a lot of people are stuck in a traditional mode of thinking. And I see it time and time again when people come to Progressive and they just change their thinking a little bit and they see things a little bit differently. And something that was always in front of them, like the investor that you had, like an assisted sale, these things are always there. You just need a mentor and you need to be nudged in the right direction,
Absolutely.
a bit of knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think the No Money Down is just the best out of all of them because it's just the techniques you can apply to everything, can't you?
I mean, there are some amazing strategies out there. We've got deal packaging, we've got the buy, rent, refurbish, finance that we were talking about. We've got serviced accommodation, we've got HMOs, we've got commercial conversions. There's so much that can be done. And for you, it was the No Money Down that resonated with you.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. All of the other techniques work really well. And they're just different ways of getting income from property. So you have multiple streams of property income. And actually, we have a multiple streams of property income event here at Progressive where you can learn about all these different techniques. Deal packaging, commercial conversions, HMOs, No Money Down, service accommodation. They're all here. They're all the best strategies in the UK that you can learn right now. And if you come to one of our multiple streams of property income events, whether you have money or not, whether you have experience or not, you can learn to start, grow and scale your own property business. So Matt, let's get into properties. We've obviously talked about the properties that you did before you had knowledge. Then you've gone into construction and now you've come to Progressive with the understanding that having that mentorship was really important for you. So what have you done since then?
Yeah, so I bought this bungalow and then turned it into a 5-bedroom house. That's up for sale at the moment.
So you bought this bungalow. How did you buy it?
Borrowed the money off an investor.
So you raised that money from the investor. So how
Yeah.
much of your own money did you put into actually purchasing that property?
Nothing to purchase it, but I've used my own capital to do it up, or my building company. The money was in my building company to do it up. I did try to do an assisted sale on it, this guy, but there was too many people in the deal. It was a probate property, and the actual main guy I was dealing with was quite up for doing an assisted sale, but he had 2 sisters and they didn't want to do it. They just wanted to sell it traditionally. So so we went down the traditional route, bought it, done it up, and now it's up for sale.
So you used investor finance to buy the
purchase
property.
it, yeah.
Then you used your own money that you had in your company to refurbish it. So you effectively joint ventured with that investor, and you both brought some funds to the table.
Yeah.
And what does that investor get out of that? Why would an investor lend you £500,000?
Because he's getting 10% on his money.
He's getting a big 10%. What can you expect from banks at the moment? Between 4 and 5%?
Yeah.
And he's getting a 10% return.
Yeah.
So there'll be some people out there who are wondering, why would an investor lend me money? If you can give that investor a better return than the bank, for an investor, it's an absolute no-brainer. They are looking for you. They're looking for people like Matt. They want to deploy their funds. So if you're someone out there who doesn't have the funds, you can come to a place like Progressive, learn how to meet investors, learn how to speak to investors, network with people, and joint venture with people. Now, Matt, you said that you put the money in for the refurbishment. Would it have been possible to go and network with other people and raise the refurb money as well?
Yeah, I mean, my guy gave, you have to give him security, so he's got first charge.
Sure. So the investor has the first charge on the property.
Yeah.
So if something goes wrong or
Right.
you don't uphold your end of the deal,
Yeah.
he can take that back.
Yeah. So then, I'll just use my own money just to complete the build, yeah.
Now that build is complete, it's on the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're waiting for it to be sold.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And what will your profit be, roughly?
My development company is paying my building company. So, I don't know, 80 grand, something like that.
80 grand
what
profit.
Depends what I get for it, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So
that'd be and the building company's made its money as well.
wow.
Yeah.
So the building company who did the construction makes all its money back, and you make a personal profit effectively of £80,000.
Either way, you would have had to employ a building to do it.
So you may
obviously
as well
we just use our own building company. So,
Yeah, that's fantastic. What a great way to leverage your own skill set and what was already there. And that investor, will he stop working with you once he gets his money back?
No.
How do you know?
Because I've spoken to him about it.
You've spoken to him about it.
Yeah.
And what has that investor said to you?
They've lent me some more. Obviously, their money's secured at the moment because I've taken a £500,000 building and made it worth the best part of $1 million. So
Wow, so
his
you've
money's
doubled the
secured.
value almost. So his money's
he-
definitely secure.
His money's secured. So he's like, well, there's no risk for me at the moment because my money's secured against that building. So he's quite happy to lend me some more money. I've just got to try and find the right project, which I'm looking at the moment.
So you're looking for the right project at the moment.
Yeah.
And that one investor who you always had on your list that you didn't realize might lend you finance because you didn't have the training to know to ask that person is actually going to lend you even more money.
Yes.
Amazing. So what would you say to anybody out there who feels that they can't do it?
Get out your own way. Ask the question. And you can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. How can people do that? Is it taking action?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you've got to take the action, haven't you? I just decided one morning I'm going to rig all these people. I'm an early riser, and all the people I deal with in my business, they're all early risers. And literally, I think it was the first or second person that I spoke to. And I rang my wife, and before 7:30 in the morning, I'd raised £500,000.
Wow. Before 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
There are some people still in bed at 9 o'clock in the morning. Before 7:30, you had raised £500,000. Oh, man, I love that so much. So what's the future looking like? What's next?
So I'm trying to find the next project. A bit of land I'm looking at the moment for 4 houses. We're sort of back and forward with a vendor.
And are you thinking,
I think it'll happen, but we'll see.
are you thinking about structuring that in some creative way? Or
They were going to put the plot of land in, and then I'll bring the investment of my skills, and then build it out, and then we can split it at the end. So he'll get his money back for the land. Hawes will get their money for what they've spent on it, and then we'll split the rest.
amazing.
We just got to get our numbers right at the moment. We're a little bit apart at the moment, but I think it's probably going to happen, but we'll see.
We'll see.
If not, we're looking at other stuff anyway. So
Yeah, fantastic. Well, Matt, it's been really, really great to have you in the studio today.
Thank you.
And really, really fantastic to hear your story. And I look forward to hearing more about your successes as we
Definitely.
move forward into the future.
Great
Thank you
stuff.
very much for coming in.
thanks, Sean. Cheers.